Fear tingles down your spine and hairs stand on end. Mysteries unknown and tales in the dark. Are you ready? Hello? Hi, welcome to Nightly Haven for part 5 of our Uncaught Serial Killers. I felt that this serial killer deserved a chapter of its own. So, Whispers in the Shadows, part 5, An Autumn of Terror. The fog rolls thick over the cobblestone alleys of Whitechapel, swallowing gaslight and cloaking shadows in silence. Here in the heart of the Victorian London's East End, Death walked in human form. He had no face, no name, but his legacy would bleed through history. They called him Jack the Ripper, but who he was remains a mystery. The year was 1988. London tethered on the edge of modernity, but in Whitechapel, life was brutal and short. The slums overflowed with the poor, and the homeless forgotten. Hunger, disease, and desperation haunted every corner. And into the world of soot and sorrow stepped a killer who would redefine horror. He didn't just strike with brute force. He sliced with surgical precision. He wasn't just killing. He was making a statement. The Canonical Five. There were many victims in Whitechapel, but 5 known as the Canonical Five are forever linked by the Ripper's unmistakable hand. Mary Ann Nichols, August 31st, 1988. Known as Polly, she was found on Bucks Row in the early hours of the morning. Her throat slashed twice, and her abdomen brutally mutilated. Her eyes stared wide into nothing. And then there's Annie Chapman, September 8th, 1888. Discovered behind 29 Hanbury Street. Her throat had been cut, her intestines laid over her shoulder, and her uterus removed. The work of someone calm and focused. Elizabeth Stride, September 30th, 1988. Found in a dutiful yard, her throat had been cut, but there was no further mutilation. Many believe the killer was interrupted. Catherine Eddowes, September 30th, 1888. Just an hour after Stride. Found in Metro Square, she was eviscerated with chilling skill. Her kidney was removed. Her face was disfigured with slashes. A portion of her apron was found nearby, bloodied, next to graffiti scrawled on the wall. The Jews are the man that will not be blamed for nothing. Mary Jane Kelly. Probably one of the most famous victims of all of them, November 9th, 1988. The most gruesome of them all. She was found in her own room, so he had time. And her room was on Miller's Court. Her body was nearly unrecognizable. Organs removed and arranged. Her heart missing. It was a slaughter. 5 lives brutally ended in the course of just 10 weeks. The work of a single hand, or so many believe. Chapter 3, Letters from Hell. The media was in a frenzy, was unprecedented. Panic rippled across London. In the midst of this hysteria, letters began to arrive at the police station and the newspaper offices. The most infamous, dated September 27th, 1988, was signed, "Yours truly, Jack the Ripper." Whether or not it was authentic or a cruel hoax is still debated, but the name stuck, and so did the fear. Another letter, known as the From Hell letter, came with a human kidney believed to be a doe's. The author claimed that he had fried and eaten the other half. It was signed with no name. Just madness. Chapter 4, Theories in the Fog. Over the years, hundreds have been suspected, but 5 names continue to resurface. Montague John Druitt, a barrister and teacher who committed suicide shortly after the final murder. His family believed that he was mentally ill, and his death coincided too neatly with the end of the killings. Aaron Kosminski, a Polish-Jewish barber, institutionalized shortly after the murders. In 2014, a shawl allegedly belonging to a doe's tested positive for DNA, linking him to the crime, though the evidence remained hotly contested. Walter Sickert, an painter obsessed with death and Ripper imagery. Author Patricia Cornwell controversially argued he was the killer, pointing to the DNA from the old letters and the dark tone of his art. Prince Albert Victor, aka Prince Eddie, a royal conspiracy theory suggesting the heir to the throne was either the Ripper or part of a cover-up involving the crown and the Freemasons. No credible evidence supports this. This is just a theory. And lastly, we got Dr. Francis Tumley, an American quack doctor known for his misogyny and collection of female organs in jars. He fled to the US shortly after the final murders. He fits the psychological profile disturbingly well. Each theory has its holes, each suspect a mirror reflecting its own fears. I personally like the theory of H.H. Holmes being the Ripper and him just like being in London for a short time and then coming to America, but that's just me. So chapter 5, the end that never came. The murders stopped as suddenly as they began. No arrest, no trial, just silence. Whitechapel carried on, forever changed. The alleyways and murder sites now wear blue plaques and street art. Tourists flock where horror once reigned. But the Ripper never left. He lingers in myth and in media, in the modern mind, a phantom of human cruelty, a symbol of the unsolved. Some believe he died. Others think he institutionalized. Still, others wonders, did he simply move on, start again, or become another unknown monster on a shadowed street? Because what made Jack so terrifying wasn't the blood. It was the silence that followed it. He killed in the fog, and he vanished into it. Jack the Ripper was more than a man. He was an idea, a symbol of evil that wears a human face and slips through the cracks of history. He whispers in the alley, a ghost on the cobblestone, a named carved into darkness. And like all true shadows, he was never truly gone. Have a good night, guys. Bye.